Hey guys, welcome back. Building Big with City Skylines, episode 27. I'm Enigmas, and today we're trying to solve the issue of over-educated employees that are not suitable to work in our oil district. Our forestry district so far is doing all right, but the oil district has a lot of vacancies. At a point in time, we had so many highly educated and well-educated people working here with no uneducated and educated that it was completely flip-flopped and very sad. It seems to be getting better now because we set up this whole new low-density residential area with only one school, an elementary school, so that we can teach them how to use crayons and read, write, and do basic math. But that's about it. We're keeping them dumb on purpose. So far it's been working fairly well. The only sort of demand we have right now is for commercial, but I don't necessarily want to dive in and start zoning more commercial because we've got abandoned commercial buildings already. We set up commercial zoning around the perimeter of our residential areas so that people could buy their groceries and their booze and their guns and everything that they need. And right now there's just not enough people to work at those commercial areas because they get paid so much better for working in the oil patch. So what are you going to do? I mean, you can't necessarily blame them, but all we can really do is give things a little bit of time to mature. So I decided what we would do is we would expand our low-density residential area to the boundaries of the tile that we're working in. I don't think I want to buy this tile. I think it's got like the big ugly mountain, and it might maybe barely intersect with the highway up here, but then we'd have to. It's not an appealing sort of spot for us. So we're gonna fill out the roads, and we're gonna just basically let it go as we're doing this, so that we can hopefully let the residential area mature, and in doing so, ideally address a lot of our concerns. So we're gonna kind of build things out a little bit. We're gonna use the 4-zone, and we're gonna 4-lane roads, and this will be the major sort of thoroughfare kind of style road. And then we can hopefully, with any luck at all... What is that? Oh, we're not... Did we not do it with trees? What? Cannot... That is so very strange. Okay. Fine then, be that way. No one upgrade, we'll do straight. We're straight with snapping on, and we're going to connect that to that. We've got a park there, so we can't do that, but we can do this. No, we can't, because it's outside city limits. Barely, by a pixel or two. We got this great big giant park. And what do we have next to the park? We have house and house and house and house. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to move the park over this way. Park. Yes, I know you want to be placed next to a road. Must be placed roadside. Yes, I know. Must be placed roadside. I'm aware. See, that's a road that you're in right now, you stupid piece of junk. See, it almost looked like it wanted to go, and then it changed its mind. What are these people complaining about? Low density residential, everything is fine. They've got 3 teens and 6 adults, 2 uneducated 6. See, I knew the elementary school was a bad idea. They're all too smart now. But what I want to do is I want to move this over so that it's out of the way and I can build the appropriate road connecting across. What about like this? Well, let me... No. We want to... Oh, it looked almost again like... There we go. And... bonk. Haha! We managed it! Finally! Holy hell! All that just to move a friggin' park. And out of city limits. I tells ya, it's a goddamn conspiracy. What about this way? Perfect! Then you, up that way. Straight like an arrow. And then we can get these smaller, but no less effective. Well, actually, they are less effective. 2-lane roads And we're going to go with the, there's the school and there's the thing, and then we go like this. That's not going to work like that. What about like this? Will that work? It'll kind of work. Not necessarily as well as we were hoping, but it'll kind of work. And we're just going to do a kind of a wee little traffic circle, because I don't like leaving stubs of roads, even if they are viable, as kind of an alternative. And that just kind of took out the houses that were there. That's not really helping us in our quest to let our residential area mature if we're constantly bulldozing the damn houses. So that's not going to happen. I guess we're going to have to leave it like that for now. And we'll just we'll zone it. Maybe this guy here, we can add a little something extra. That straight. That'll work, kinda. Probably be able to put some commercial in there. And this, I hate leaving it like that. Makes me kind of sad. Sad that we have to leave it like that. But there's not much else we can do. So we can start zoning this, some of the larger patches. And again, it's not because we necessarily need to zone more residential, it's just we're kind of waiting to see what's going to happen with this stuff here, to see if it's actually going to mature to the point where these guys are seeming to do a little bit better. These guys are also seeming to do a little bit better, but they're still missing a lot of workers. 4 uneducated, they need 6 more educated, 4 more uneducated, and they're good for well-educated. Look at this guy, 6 more educated, 4 uneducated. So I think it was actually a smart idea to put the elementary school. Every other service we put in place, we put the giant park and we got the little baby park, and down here we've got the plaza with trees. We've got the commercial, but also we've got fire and police. We've got the incinerator for garbage in this area. It's mostly servicing this area, but it's doing okay over here as well. We've got our residential train station. Our passenger train station that seems to be doing all right. Lots of passenger trains, the red guys going through, but for some reason every time I look at it, it sends the tally down to 0. I had it up to 200 previously, so this one's doing okay. Let's speed this up a little bit. You can promote the expansion of our city a little bit faster just by speeding it up. I know it's not much that we're doing, but it's actually kind of important to get this set up properly now. Otherwise, we're going to have a certain number of difficulties later on. I think what we really need to do is we're just going to finish zoning this in the way that makes sense to get some use out of the land, even though it's not necessarily what we want to do. And I'm a little bit concerned about having more intersections than is necessary, because we've been down that road before, and we don't necessarily want to kind of put ourselves in that position too soon again. So we're going to go like that, and then we're going to zone this for more residential, because the residential demand is once again on the rise. And we'll put in a little bit of commercial, because these areas seem to be growing and upgrading fairly well. These used to be abandoned, so the fact that they're up and running and short of workers represents an improvement, even though it's not necessarily the full scope of the improvement that we're looking for. So we're going to put in room for a little bit more of the commercial variety. We're going to kind of do some residential with the larger sections, and we've got a little spot for convenience store right there. And now we can kind of keep an eye on things and how they're advancing. We're making money. We're not making as much as we used to be making, but we're still making money. We spent a lot. We've got a lot tied up in weekly expenses with all the different services that we've supplied to this area, in the hopes that they'll appreciate it and actually be able to supply these areas with workers, which will then provide us with tax and income. And it looks like this guy is now abandoned, but it's the only one that's struggling. So we're making progress. It took a lot, but we finally got there. We've got a really good bus route laid out. It's one big route. it's pretty scary. This whole thing is one big loop that kind of goes back and forward and around, and loops back on itself where it has to, so that we can get coverage on both sides of the street like we talked about previously. And we've also got the metro up here that it has access to. So we've already got good transit coverage built into this area. But what we can do while we're here, it might as well, is we'll just build in another little loop. You can see people already happier for us having started this undertaking. This is very strange. Okay, we're gonna have to do that, and then we're gonna back out like that. So there's a little loop that ought to keep them largely satisfied. And you can see I like this view actually, because it lets you really isolate the upgrades, little things. Whenever you see the little green arrow over a building, it means it's upgraded. People are happy, they're progressing, things are happening the way that we want them to. We're back to abandoned, and all of a sudden he got happy, took over. They're building it now, so we're doing okay. Shortage of workers over here, but these are the areas that we just owned. It kind of gives you an idea of just how much of a balance we're trying to meet here. We were fine until we zoned these extra commercial buildings, even though there was demand for commercial, and all of a sudden now there's not enough workers to go around anymore. So we're not gonna zone any more commercial over here. We're gonna invest our commercial zoning efforts over on the other side of the city where things are going big, like really big. And then this area over here, once it's stabilized and everybody's happy with the workers here, we can start expanding the industrial tree farm thingies that are going on. Before we depart for this episode, we'll just come over here and take a look at, this is our real sort of commercial office space area, and it's just exploding. It's got the big buildings, the skyscrapers. It's got our expo center right here. It's not doing so well, the expo center, not yet. Anyways, it could change in the future, but for now, not getting a lot of traffic. We've got the passenger train station servicing 11 people per week. Not great, but again, we're still a small city. 27,000 people is nothing compared to the services that we're offering already. So we've got lots of room to grow, and we don't have to worry necessarily too much if these things don't seem to be performing, because there's going to be plenty of opportunity for that in the future. Our ore production area is, what's this guy saying? Oh, he's saying that they're empty. So and this guy, you can empty, and this guy is empty, so you can be used, and this guy, you might as well empty. So we got 2 emptying and 2 being used at any given time. The incinerators are probably going full time. 400,000 reserves, processing 48,000 per week. So we're doing okay, I think, with the incinerators over on this side. Some of these guys are maxed out, some of these guys are doing all right. So we'll keep an eye on it, but so far it seems like we're at least keeping on top of the garbage that's coming in, so that's pretty cool. And now we have to start thinking about where we want our next expansion and exactly what it's going to be. We've got this area here that was always intended to expand out into this area. That's why we've got the highway that kind of stopped there. We've got all this area here that, we've already paid for the land and we've barely used any of it. And we can start looking at. And then we've got this sort of beachfront property sort of situation going on down here, but there's a lot between where we are and where that property is that we have to kind of be a little bit careful about how we're getting to. So we got lots to do. I'm going to come up with a plan for what to do and how to do it, and the next episode we're going to embark on that. And like I say, we could just expand the commercial over here, or if we have to, we'll make some changes over there. A couple of things at least that we can look at. If you want to be notified when I add that video, the easiest way to do that is to subscribe to my channel or follow me on social media. Links for social media are always in the information section below the video. Feel free to leave your comments and feedback. Thanks for watching, guys, and take care.